Let me share something with you that most people never really stop to consider. Every single thought you think is either working for you or against you. There's no neutral ground. The moment you begin to really sense that your mind is shaping your experience, right now, in every moment, everything starts to become clearer. Think about this. Your life, as it is today, is a mirror of the thoughts you've been repeating to yourself, the feelings you've gotten used to, and the beliefs you've quietly accepted as true. It's not just the big dramatic moments, it's the little, almost invisible thoughts, a silent criticism, a background worry, a quick judgment about yourself. Those tiny, repeated thoughts are like seeds. And here's what most people don't realize. You're watering them every single day, whether you want to or not. The garden of your mind is always growing something. If you don't choose what gets planted, your old habits and unconscious beliefs will do it for you. Most of us were never taught this. We were taught to react to what happens, to wait for something outside to change before we feel better. But waiting keeps you stuck. Reacting keeps you trapped. The real shift happens when you see that you have a choice. Your thoughts can heal you or they can hurt you. The choice is happening every moment, even when you don't notice it. The first step is to simply pay attention to what you're thinking and notice, is this helping me or is it hurting me? Let me explain what's really happening beneath the surface. Every belief you hold about yourself, whether you feel worthy, lovable, safe, or capable, began as a thought. Over time, a repeated thought becomes so familiar that it drops beneath your awareness and turns into a belief. And here's the key. Your mind is always working to prove your beliefs right. If you quietly believe that you're not good enough, your mind will look for evidence to support it. You'll notice the things that go wrong. You'll remember the times you failed. You'll tune in to criticism and ignore praise. This isn't something you do on purpose. It's just how the mind works. Most people are living their lives as if their beliefs are facts. They're not. They're habits. They're learned. You don't have to keep them. The moment you see that, you start to get your power back. Think about this. Your beliefs are like a filter. They decide how you see yourself, how you see other people, and how you see your future. If your filter is clouded with self-doubt or old pain, you'll keep recreating the same experiences over and over. Not because you want to, but because you expect to. That expectation becomes your reality. You don't need to fight the old belief or argue with it. You just need to see it for what it is, a thought you've practiced. The good news is you can practice a new one. Consider this. Everything you experience on the outside is a reflection of what you consistently accept on the inside. If you keep telling yourself you're not worthy of love, you'll find yourself in situations where love feels out of reach. If you assume that healing is hard or impossible, your body and mind will follow that script. It's not a punishment, it's just how consciousness works. The world is mirroring what you accept as possible and true. Most people wait for something outside to change before they decide to feel better. They think, if I just get the job, or the relationship, or the health, then I'll feel worthy, then I'll love myself, then I'll believe in healing. But that's backwards. The moment you decide to accept your worthiness now, before anything outside changes, everything begins to shift. Your reality starts to reflect that new assumption. Let me share something with you. You don't have to be perfect or have it all figured out to start changing your beliefs. You just have to be willing to notice the old pattern and gently introduce something new. The smallest shift in your assumption can open the door to a completely different experience. You don't have to know how it will all work out. You just have to choose a new story and let yourself begin to believe it. Here's what most people don't realize. Your identity comes first and your results come second. Most people try to change their actions or fix a problem on the outside without ever questioning the beliefs they're carrying on the inside. It's like painting over a cracked wall, hoping the cracks will disappear. They don't. The cracks are in the foundation, not the paint. Who you think you are, deep down, shapes what shows up in your life. If you believe, even a little, that you're not worthy of good things, you'll find ways to keep yourself small, or sabotage your progress, or push away what you want. It's not sabotage. It's just your mind trying to keep you in the identity you know. The moment you shift your identity, your reality has to reorganize around that. Think about this. You don't have to fix everything outside to feel better. Inside. You shift your identity, your sense of self, your core assumption, and the outside gradually matches up. It's not about forcing or pretending. It's about gently, consistently choosing a new way of seeing yourself. Every affirmation, every moment of self-love, every time you choose a healing thought. Those are not empty words. They're building a new foundation. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Let me share something simple but powerful. Your mind is like a thermostat. It sets itself to whatever you consistently expect. If you're used to feeling unworthy or anxious or doubting yourself, that becomes your comfort zone, even if it doesn't feel good. The moment you start introducing new thoughts, thoughts of worthiness, safety, healing, your mind will resist at first. That's normal. It's just not used to the new setting yet. Most people think resistance means they're doing something wrong. It doesn't. It just means you're stepping out of an old pattern. Here's what's really happening. Your subconscious is wired for the familiar, not the true. If you're used to criticizing yourself, being kind to yourself will feel strange. If you're used to expecting disappointment, hope will feel risky. But every time you choose the new thought, even for a moment, you're turning the dial on that thermostat. You don't have to force it. You just have to be willing to practice. The more you repeat a healing thought, I am worthy, I am healing, I am enough, the more your mind will begin to accept it. The feeling will catch up, the outside will catch up. It always does. Think about this. Most people are living their lives in reaction mode. Something happens. They react. Someone says something. They react. Old fear comes up. They react. It's exhausting. The real power comes when you stop reacting and start choosing. That's when you become the director of your experience instead of just the actor. When you notice an old belief surfacing, maybe a thought like, I always mess things up, or I never get what I want, you have a choice. You don't have to accept it just because it's familiar. You can pause, notice it, and say, that's an old pattern. It's not the truth of who I am anymore. The moment you do that, you're taking your power back. You're not fighting the belief, you're just choosing not to feed it. Instead, you gently introduce a new thought. I am learning, I am growing, I deserve good things. It may feel strange at first, but that's just because it's new. Your subconscious will try to pull you back to the old familiar script. Let me explain what's really happening. Your subconscious isn't trying to hurt you. It's just trying to keep you safe, according to what it knows. But you can teach it something new. The more you choose the new thought, the more natural it becomes. Here's what's important to understand. Patterns are not destiny. Patterns are just habits of thought and feeling. If you keep repeating a thought, it becomes your expectation. If you keep expecting something, your mind and body line up with it, and your life reflects it. But you can create a new pattern anytime you choose. Let me share something with you. The moment you decide to expect healing instead of struggle, or worthiness instead of doubt, your whole system begins to reorganize. It's not about pretending that pain or fear never existed. It's about deciding that your future doesn't have to be a repeat of your past. Your mind is a creative tool. It's always making meaning out of your experience, shaping what you see, what you notice, what you attract. If you want to change your life, you don't start with the outer circumstances. You start with the inner story. You start with the assumption you're willing to accept as true. I am healing. I am worthy. I am enough. You repeat it gently, over and over, not to convince yourself by force, but to remind yourself of what's possible. The more you repeat it, the more your subconscious begins to accept it. Let me explain something. Healing is not a one-time event. It's a practice, a way of relating to yourself, moment by moment. Most people think healing means fixing what's broken, but real healing is seeing yourself as whole, even as you're growing and changing. It's not about denying pain or pretending everything's perfect. It's about choosing to see yourself through the eyes of love, even when the old story tries to pull you back. The moment you choose a loving thought, you begin to heal. The more you repeat it, the more your reality begins to shift. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the law of consciousness. Your outer world always follows your inner acceptance. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to fight the old story. The more you resist it, the stronger it gets. Instead, you gently turn your attention to what you want to experience. You practice the new thought, the new feeling, the new identity. I am healing. I am safe. I am enough. You don't have to believe it perfectly. You just have to be willing to practice. That willingness is everything. Consider this. Affirmations and self-love are not just nice ideas. They're powerful tools for rewriting your subconscious program. Every time you say to yourself, I am worthy, I am lovable, I am healing, you're sending a signal to your subconscious that something new is possible. At first, it might feel like you're just saying words. That's okay. The repetition is what matters. Your mind needs to hear the new message over and over until it becomes familiar. The moment it becomes familiar, your subconscious starts to accept it as normal. That's when your feelings begin to change. That's when your actions begin to change. That's when your reality begins to change. Let me share something with you. You can't wait for the evidence before you choose the new thought. You choose the new thought, and then the evidence begins to show up. It's not seeking, it's having. It's not waiting, it's deciding. The moment you decide to accept a new truth about yourself, your whole life starts to shift. You may not see the results right away, but they're happening. Every time you choose a loving thought, you're healing old patterns. Every time you affirm your worth, you're creating a new reality. Here's what's really happening. Your assumptions are shaping your experience right now. If you assume healing is possible, your mind and body begin to look for ways to support that. If you assume you're worthy of love, you'll start to notice love showing up in unexpected places. If you assume you're stuck or broken, you'll keep finding evidence to support that. It's not about blame. It's just about awareness. The power is always in your hands. because you can always choose a new assumption. The key is consistency. The more you repeat a healing, loving thought, the more it becomes your new normal. The outside will begin to reflect that, sometimes in small ways at first, sometimes in bigger ways over time. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to keep choosing, again and again. Every day, every moment, you can ask yourself, is this thought healing me or is it hurting me? Does this assumption move me toward the life I want, or does it keep me where I've been? The more honest you are with yourself, the easier it becomes to choose what helps you. Self-love isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a decision you make over and over. You are always assuming something about yourself and your life, whether you're aware of it or not. That assumption is shaping your reality. The moment you decide to assume your own worth, your own healing, your own wholeness, everything begins to shift. You don't have to wait for permission or proof or validation from anyone else. Your reality will reflect what you consistently accept as true, not just what you wish for or hope for. So test this in your own life. Try it for yourself. Be gentle, be consistent, and watch how your experience begins to change, one healing thought at a time,